Coach Adelman, so you being a son of Rick Adelman, the coach, can you give like a little bit of a background detail? How was it being a coach of a son in the NBA at that time, and how does it prepare you for the NBA right now?
Growing up as a son of a coach sucks because they're always gone. No, it definitely prepares you for stuff like this. I mean, I'm not going to lie, being in the locker room of the 92 finals, 90 finals, dream team, being around him, seeing his successes, his failures, when things didn't go well for him, how close he came so many times to winning it. It does prepare you for stuff like this. I don't know how, I guess mentally, because you've seen it. And then on top of that, it's nice to have somebody to talk to that's been through stuff like this and dealt with all of what this is. So, equal parts. Looking back, man, he was not at my baseball game. Equal parts, how cool is it to be with Michael Jordan in the 92 finals in the locker room? So a lot of good, a lot of bad.
David, I know Michael's questionable. Do you have any updates there on his shoulder sprain?
I don't. I know it was positive today, like much more positive than we thought. But I know he's got to go through his, pregame workout, see where he's at with his flexibility. I brought this up the other day, and I wasn't trying to it's just truth. Michael's really tough, and what he's been through, the surgeries he's had, the pain threshold, the amount of games he's played the last 2 years for us, availability. So if there's any chance of playing, he will play.
David, what impresses you most about Chris Dunn as a defender?
Never stops coming, endless energy. And they have asked him to do a lot of things, be a rotation guy across the floor, stay attached to Jamal. He can fight bigs down there. It's really cool to see his career arc and where he's come from. We all knew that this was in him, around the league, and for him to survive and come back. And obviously Ty doing a great job, finding a role for him that fits with all the offensive guys they already have. So very impressed with him, and cool to see his career kind of take off, whereas I thought it would be, years back.
Coach, how did you address the turnover situation in the last game of the Pels?
Yeah, don't do that. Especially late. No, we had some. It was amazing. I felt like every time we got momentum, every time we took the lead, every time we tied the game, it was 2 turnovers would follow it. We've got to calm down. We're a team that runs. We're number 1 in transition. Blah blah blah. I know that's all true, but in the playoffs, it's going to change. You got to feel the game out. Early in the game, I thought the way we pushed the pace was really effective. When the game slows down, you've got to be able to execute and not make mistakes after defensive rebounds, especially the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. So we know that, and I know the first game they were saying the same thing. They turned it over, we won the game. Game 2, we were sloppy and we lost. So that'll probably dictate, who has control of this game as well.
David, given you mentioned kind of spacing being an issue at certain points, if Mike is unable to go, is Julian a guy you can kind of lean on and kind of create some spacing that way?
Yeah, and our whole roster we have to take a look at if Mike's out. There's playmaking with Vlatko. He's a really smart player. Zeke gives you a defensive guy out there. I still have a lot of confidence in Jalen. He's going to have a game where he makes shots. But more importantly, it's about being clean with the ball. When they bring a third person over, a fourth person over, when Jamal and Nicole are playing 2-man game, we have to find good shots on the backside of that. And again, I've been saying this for 2 weeks, but trust the open man. And if we can find wide open threes when they're going to bring all these people, all this attention to our best players, I'll live with that. That's how the game is. And we're going to have to do the same thing to them. Take the ball out of those guys' hands, do our best to get out and contest against their other players. That's the playoffs. That's how it is. But we've got to be much cleaner.
When you watch the tape back, did you see little things where Jokic might have been a little tired at the end? That shot at the end was a little short, and some missed free throws that he had that looked a little bit uncharacteristic.
Maybe the guy is just a machine. I played him the whole second half. Obviously, that wasn't by design. I think I said it after the game. The thought process there was he starts the fourth. He keeps us in the game. We get to the 9-minute mark, take him out for a couple minutes to rest him, bring him back in. That's not the way the flow went. I was going to use the timeouts to actually rest him. And then you hit that point where you go, do I burn a timeout? It's tough because he's so obviously important to what we do. And, especially at the end, Yeah, I could see a little bit of wear and tear, but I kind of saw that on everybody out there. I mean, that game was so physical, so wild. There are guys, I felt the same way. I mean, the last play was so crazy. There's 10 extremely tired adults running around out there. So I think the game will be the same thing tonight. Thank God we got the 2 days off. I really wish we'd had the 2 days off between game 1 and 2, but it's nice to have it, going into game 3.
So this is a totally I mean, you're the only man in the history of the NBA who has ever been in the position of his 6th head coaching game ever being in the middle of an incredibly tough playoff series like this. When do you think it will stop being new? When will it stop feeling new?
So far, I got to be honest, it has not been a stressful thing. I think because it happened so fast, and I said that last week, I have a responsibility to the men in that room to organize, to do the best I can, to try to win a playoff series. And I think when this is all over, it'll probably hit me. It's right now, it's go time. And I've been with these guys for a long time, and there's a relationship there, and like I said, a responsibility to them to give them the best chance possible to do something special. So, yeah, there's no time to dwell. There's no time to wonder about how unique this is or what it was at the end of the season. It's time to try to win games. So that's how I've looked at it. That's how I've approached it.
I just meant more like on the day-to-day, oh, this is new. I haven't done this before. Oh, I haven't done this before. When do you think that will stop?
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that week we had in between the first game was really good for me because it allowed me to delegate to other people, which allowed me to have a routine that I haven't had before. You're exactly right. And then as these new things keep coming, you just try to do the most professional thing you think you should do. You can find advice with people that have done it. I've been around this league for a long time. I have a lot of friends and people that have been through it. Obviously, that helps. But yeah, everything is new. This is the first game 3 for me. But then again, it's not in the sense of my career and what I've been around. So you got to look at it that way too. Experience is everything.
You talked about the wall earlier this week and how it felt kind of like a high school game.
Yeah.
They have horse hats out there tonight to distract, I'm assuming, Nikola Jokic. Do you think it will distract or motivate him?
Yeah, good question. That could be a motivational factor, actually. Hopefully not to go home. But no, I actually, I do think it's unique that they're trying this. I think it's really cool. And I know people got out of sorts because I said pumping noise or whatever. It's just really loud. And I compared it to Phoenix because we won the second round a couple years ago. That place was, if people can get that loud, wow. So it was really hard to communicate and talk to each other. But I love what they're doing here. The NBA needs more of that, more creativity. The crowds we used to know when I grew up in the small arenas and how loud it was, that college environment that used to exist. I miss that. So it'll be cool to be a part of it.